Welcome back to the channel, team. So today we're going to go through one of the most popular questions, or the most asked questions on my channel. Are those weapons sharp? Most of you know they are not sharp. And then a lot of people ask, if the weapons were sharp, how effective would they be, or would you be getting hurt? So we're going to go through that today. So today I have sharpened an axe from American Buhurt. I sharpened to a pretty good edge, not a razor blade edge, but still sharp enough to do some damage. Before we get into today's sponsors, if we get 1,000 likes on this video, I'll be using bigger, badder weapons on a ballistic dummy torso, so hit that like button and subscribe. Which takes us on to today's sponsor of the video, which is American Buhurt, run by Matt Aaron, who has been an active competitor in Buhurt since 2018 across multiple leagues, with his mission to provide quality Buhurt equipment made to order. Custom builds are welcome. Worldwide shipping is also available. So see the link below if you want some really good handmade Buhurt equipment. He's got a few awesome profile swords coming your way. He can also laser engrave your favorite design on your weapons. He can also do laser cutouts of your weapons, just like the axe we're using today. So please go show your support and click the link below and check out his wares. And I've also gone out and got some farming tools. We're going hand tools. Here we go. We've got a sledgehammer, a wood splitter, a sharp wood cutting axe, and a pitchfork, and a little hand pick, essentially like a war pick. Back in the day, if you weren't aware, kings would levy peasants to fight in their battles. The peasants wouldn't have swords or shields or anything, so they would use farm equipment. So we're going to see how effective those peasants are against versing an armored opponent, and as well as in the zombie apocalypse. If you come up against someone like me in medieval armor, what's the best weapon to use against me to take me out? So first thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you what we're testing today. So today we're going to be testing out a steel brigandine. Cut to me doing history about brigandine now. So brigandine, it's a form of body armor from the late Middle Ages up to the early modern era. It's a garment typically made from heavy cloth, canvas or leather, lined internally with small plates and riveted to the fabric. Sometimes there may be a second layer of fabric on the inside for a bit of comfortable, but usually there's a gambeson underneath a brigandine as the padding. So knights or men at arms would usually wear brigandine. They would have, so they'd have their brig on top, and then they'd have their chainmail jacket, and then they'd have their gambeson. So this brigandine is a steel brigandine that was made by one of the fighters at Team Kraken Bow. If you don't know what a brigandine is, I just explained it over the history, but it is pretty much a coat made of plates. So it's all metal behind that fabric there. And as you just heard, it was a very common piece of body armor. And it is one of the most common pieces of body armor in the sport of Buhurt because it's reasonably light, but it's got that movability with the plates going up and down. So this is why I wanted to test this today. So Buhurt weapons, as you know, are not sharp at all. Like, you can run this anywhere you like. You're not gonna get hurt with this axe unless you get hit by it. Very safe if you're not swinging it at anyone. And the reason why I'm not testing this on this brigandine is because I'm about to show you many examples of this armor holding up in full contact fighting now. I got down, you Now this is a Buhurt axe that I have sharpened on the grinder, on the grindstone, and it has quite a good edge. So I'm not going to rub it on myself, I'm going to rub it on this apple. So it's cutting through quite easily. Alright, and if you want to, it chops. So it is sharp, nice and sharp blade. We're also going to use a wood chopping axe that is also very sharp for cutting wood. And the difference between a wood cutting axe and a battle axe is the weight. So this thing has a very small blade, a thin blade compared to the back of it. You can see how the wood cutter is quite thick and heavy, and this one is quite light and maneuverable to be able to swing many times in a battle. I'm not saying that some battle axes weren't this weight. I'm just saying mine isn't. We're also going to be testing out a pitchfork, the old farming tool. Usually they'd have a long wooden one, but this one was the cheapest. And I might sharpen this up with the grinder. I'm assuming they would do that back in the day. Then we have a little mattock, which is pretty much a war hammer with a sharp pick and a bladed end. That's actually quite sharp, actually got me. Fantastic. Then my favorite purchase, probably the most expensive of the video, is this 4 kilo, is it 4? Let's say, 3.6 kilo wood splitter with a hammer. So the main reason I got this is for the war hammer, but we still got a pretty kind of sharpish, it's not that sharp, actually, wood splitter. But I do get a lot of comments saying, can I use a hammer? And you'll find out very quickly why we cannot use hammers in this sport. Now, what are we using it on? Yes, the Brigandine, but what else? Let's go check out the dummy. Probably already gone through my sponsor today. We got Medieval Extreme, use code SRIDE for free express shipping worldwide. And we got Armor Workshop, my boy Pavlo. You can also get a 5% discount if you use code SRIDE. I love these two armorers. They're the most reliable armorers and distributor in the sport, in my opinion. So, link in bio. Okay, so the dummy is going to be this old water heater that I found on the side of the road with my old Gambeson. So it kind of absorbs some of that shock. And we're going to put this brig over the top. It'd also be cool to see if the axe cuts through the Gambeson, because back in the day, people only had Gambeson as their armor. So if you see how effective just padding armor would be. This is the men-at-arms that we are fighting today. I'm going to go through the tools from what I think is going to be least damage to most damage. So the first one I'm going to do is this pitchfork. First, probably going to do without even inspecting the armor, you can see there is no penetration. Alright, so the reason why I haven't made it a stiff target is because, you know, when you stab someone or you hit someone, they're going to have a bit of a rock to it, and then when it comes back, I can stab it a bit more. So we did a few stabs here on the side. It doesn't look like much, so nothing's come through at all on the armor. A few stabs, but like really not that much at all. A few scratches, but nothing really at all. I'm going to use the sharp wood cutting axe. There's one more. Even from these very poorly placed slow motion cameras, you can see that there is no penetration with the axe. It kind of just bounces straight off. I think it does make some cracks, but no penny. Alright, I don't even know where I can hit. Oh, here we go. Alright, so these are the strikes with the axe. So cut through the first layer, second layer didn't get cut through. Third layer did get cut through, so here we are. This side here. But this one has cracked through, I believe. No blade penetration through the Brigandine on the wood cutting axe. Let's see what we got next. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to try hit some of this padding first. See how good padding is. It's not too bad. Which up a bit. And then we'll go into the plate armor here. So the first strike hits the front of the material, grinding it away, and then the next few strikes do actually puncture it. It doesn't look like it. I think it was this one, the direct down, actually punctures the armor. So this is what happened to the Gambeson after getting pumped by the sharp blade. And there's Muller in the background telling me that I should be Mr. Beast on YouTube, like everyone's. What I want to do. That's what I want to do. Is just like.
So you like how my brain thinks?
Yeah. See how his brain thinks. And just for shits and gigs, I'm just going to hit this gambeson on the back because we didn't get to do that before. So this is the cuts we got here. So it's a big cut in there. It actually didn't break the other side. I don't know if you can see in there. It actually didn't go all the way through to the white. So we got a white freezer under here. It didn't actually go all the way through, which is cool, but definitely there's some that did. This one here, all the way through. We got the shots on this is the front part of the jacket. These ones went all the way through. So, yeah. Had a jacket against a sharp blade, not the best. Alright, so we got some armor. This could be from old use as well, so the metal is failing. But I think up here, we got a cheeky hit. Let's see if that was from the axe. It was. So through the axe up here, we have a tiny little armor penetration, but definitely not going to go through into anyone's skin, and the padding would have stopped that anyway. So yeah, that's a sharp Buhurt axe. Thing we've been waiting for, the little war pick. I think it's like a trowel pick, but yeah, we're going into here. Where are we going? In there? It just feels good, doesn't it? Alright, let's see how it goes. So the biggest thing that stopped this tool being very effective was the weight and the length of it. So if we get the likes we need on this video, I'm going to get a warhammer forged, nice and heavy with the big war pick on the back and a massive hammer to get some penetration in that ballistic dummy. Alright, so we come in here, have a few bust ups. So you can see the little holes that are going through. There's not much penetration, lol. But yeah, it's all behind this material. Let's flip it. So boom, hole, hole, hole. That's a big one. Look at that, getting that fucking door. That's a biggie. But it was underneath another plate, so I don't think it would have done too much. So you can see with a functional warhammer or a purpose-made pick warhammer, the damage would have been significantly more. So hopefully we can get one of those bad boys into one soon. So the last tool of today is this wood splitter with a warhammer on it. I'm looking forward to swinging this thing as it is very heavy, and I feel like both sides will do quite a lot of damage. Use the hammer side. We know it's not going to do anything, but let's give it a good whack on the front. Sorry, rental. Oh my god. So even though this had no penetration, you can see that if I was swinging that into someone's chest or ribs or stomach in Buhurt, it would absolutely destroy them. So this is why warhammers are not allowed, as that blunt force trauma would be excessive. I'm going to hit here with the splitter first. Here. All right. So we gave it a hit with the hammer on the front. Did no damage, but you can see here, it's cut all the way through the brig and made a big dent there. Could even pierced it, and over here as well. It's cut all the way through here and has pierced it. So let's see how much damage we got on the other side. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is why we don't have hammers or heavy weapons in our sport. So pretty effective hole with the blunt splitter. Remember, this thing is very heavy, and not much damage done to the axe at all. So yes, very effective against armor. And we'll try and find the other hole. Oh yeah, the other one's here. So this is, oh, that's the hole. It shattered the plate as well. Fantastic. And as you can see over here, our first hit was with the hammer. There's a little bit of a dent there, but you can't really see it. So yeah, pretty cool. Time to give these weapons a rating out of 10. So coming in last place with a scale of dog shit is the Pitchfork. I reckon it's a deadly scale of 1.1 against armored opponents. So the wood cutting axe did not get any armor penetration. It did crack some armor, so there was a little bit of damage. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 10 for that cracked armor, but that's more blunt force that we're dealing with. And today was all about penetration. So yeah, 3 out of 10 deadly scale. So here we go. We got the sharpened Buhurt axe that did do a shallow penetration. Story of my life. So I'll give this a deadly scale of... I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10 out of deadly scale, just for penetration again. As with the Gamson, that would not have got the person. So 4 out of 10 for shallow penetration. Samantha, I'm sorry. This was hard because I know this bad boy with its weight is much more effective against armored opponents. But as we go on for penetration, and the deadly scale is just for that deep pen, I'm giving this bad boy a 7 out of 10, as it did get a quite deep gash in it. But I hit it 3 times and only got 1 effective shot, and it was lying down as well. So yeah, I'm giving that a 7 out of 10. But I would much rather use this against an armored opponent than the winner of the pen challenge today. So the king of penetration today is this little hand pick, because it wasn't very heavy and it didn't really move dummy very much, but it did get penetration nearly on all strikes. So if this was a purpose-built pick with a longer haft, a heavier head, this thing would be formidable. So yeah, I'm giving this bad boy a deadly scale of 8 out of 10, even with its lack of length and size. Alright, so that's today's video. It was essentially me testing out what tools I'm going to use when I get a ballistic dummy. So it'll be like a head and a torso. Which tools to use to get maximum penetration. And I've got a few other little secret ones I'm going to be doing when I get that torso in. But thanks for the video today. I hope it wasn't too dodgily done with the mannequin and whatnot, but it was fun. It was fun. I was very surprised on how good the sharpened Buhurt axe was. And remember, you got your Buhurt mercenary shirts. Link in the bio. Once again, thank you to American Buhurt for supplying the axe. If you need any bladed weapons, go hit them up. Link down below. Stay deadly. Notification bell.